1. Face or flee. Survival lessons from a mountain climbing expert. Have you ever wondered what's more important when facing difficulties? Avoidance or confrontation? In life, we often have to make crucial decisions, especially when facing challenges and hardships. Let's listen to the story of a young mountain climbing enthusiast who sought advice from a renowned mountain climbing expert on how to deal with storms while halfway up a mountain. The expert's answer is not just about climbing techniques, but also contains profound lessons about courage and survival. Are you curious whether you should flee from the storm or face it head on? Let's explore the story and find the answer. A young man who loved mountain climbing went to see a famous mountain climbing expert to learn climbing techniques. Among his questions, he asked, "If we are halfway up the mountain and it suddenly starts to rain, what should we do?" The climbing expert replied, "You should go to the top." "Why go to the top? Isn't it windier and rainier up there?" the young man questioned skeptically. "Climbing to the top, the rain will indeed be heavier, but it won't endanger your life. Going down, the rain and wind might be lighter, but there's a higher risk of landslides, and you could be buried alive." The climbing expert seriously said, "Avoiding the storm might sweep you away. Facing it head-on, however, will secure your survival." The story of the young man and the mountain climbing expert is not just about safe climbing practices, but also opens up a deeper perspective on how we face difficulties and challenges in life. When the expert advised the young man to ascend to the mountain's peak despite the harsher storm, it exemplified courage and determination, teaching us not to avoid difficulties but to face them to seek safety and survival. The first message from this story is, confront challenges to achieve safety and survival. In life, we often encounter obstacles that seem insurmountable. Sometimes our natural reaction is to avoid these difficulties, hoping they will disappear or become easier over time. However, this story reminds us that only by facing challenges can we find a safe way out and protect our survival. Climbing to the mountain's peak may seem like confronting stronger storms, but it is the only way to avoid the dangers of landslides and other unforeseen hazards. This lesson also applies to our daily lives. Challenges may come from work, personal relationships, or even mental and physical health. If we continuously avoid and hope that difficulties will resolve themselves, we might be placing ourselves in even greater danger. Facing difficulties requires courage, patience, and determination, but it is the only way we can overcome them and find peace and safety. The second message from this story is, avoiding challenges can bring greater danger. When the young man wondered about climbing to the peak during the storm, the expert asserted that descending, while seemingly safer in the short term, carried severe risks such as landslides and being buried alive. This is a valuable lesson about avoidance. In life, avoiding problems is often only a temporary solution and can lead to more severe consequences in the long run. For example, in work, if we avoid difficult tasks or shy away from new challenges, we might miss out on important opportunities for personal growth and career advancement. In relationships, avoiding problems and conflicts can lead to greater breakdowns and losses. Regarding health, not confronting and addressing unusual signs promptly can result in serious physical and mental consequences. Ultimately, the story of the young man and the mountain climbing expert is a reminder that, in any situation, facing difficulties and challenges not only helps us overcome them, but also makes us stronger and more resilient. Avoiding difficulties is only a temporary solution and carries many risks. We need to bravely confront, seek solutions, and persistently move forward, as that is the only path to safety and success in life. 2. The power of determination and personal experience. Have you ever wondered what drives people to keep moving forward, even when the path ahead is filled with obstacles and uncertainty? In the thick darkness, amidst the bustling crowd, there is a blind man with a wooden cane, relentlessly moving forward even though he knows the road leads to a dead end. His journey is not just a step into the night, but a profound lesson about determination and perseverance. Let's listen to his story to uncover a powerful message about courage and the value of personal experience in life. It was pitch dark. On the street, people were rushing by. There was a constant tapping sound from the blind man's wooden cane. A passerby warned him, "There's a dead end ahead." The blind man replied, "I need to walk the path to know it for sure." The blind man didn't stop. He kept moving forward. The tapping sound gradually faded until it disappeared completely. The story of the blind man walking in the dark is a concise yet deeply meaningful narrative about life. It's not just a simple scenario, but a valuable lesson on determination and the importance of experiencing and learning for oneself. The blind man in the story didn't let the darkness or the warnings of others deter him. He continued moving forward despite knowing that the road ahead was a dead end. This action demonstrates a spirit of determination and strong will. In life, we often encounter difficulties and obstacles that make us want to stop or give up. However, if we can maintain our faith and stay determined with our goals, like the blind man in the story, we can overcome any challenge and achieve success. Determination is not just about not giving up, it's about believing in oneself and one's capabilities. The blind man in the story wasn't afraid of the dark or the dead end because he knew he needed to experience and explore it for himself to understand the path better. This leads to the second message of the story, the importance of personal experience and learning. You have to walk the path to know it. This statement by the blind man emphasizes that only by facing difficulties and challenges ourselves can we truly understand and grasp the nature of the situation. In life, we often hear advice and warnings from others. However, everyone has their own unique path and experiences. Only when we walk the path ourselves and experience it can we truly learn and grow. Relying too much on others' opinions can diminish our confidence and decision-making abilities. The blind man in the story chose to experience the road ahead, even knowing it might be a dead end. He understood that every step brings valuable lessons, and those experiences help him understand the world around him and himself better. This is an incredibly important message in modern life, where information and advice are readily accessible, but personal experience and true understanding require courage and determination. The story of the blind man walking in the dark is not just a lesson about determination and the importance of personal experience, but also a reminder of the human spirit's strength in facing difficulties and challenges. It encourages us to bravely walk our paths, even if there is darkness or dead ends ahead. Only through personal experience and exploration can we truly understand and grasp the meaning of life. Like the blind man in the story, we need to be determined and courageous, unafraid of obstacles and challenges. Trust in yourself and walk the path to discover your journey. Because only through personal experience can we truly understand and grow. This story is a powerful reminder of the importance of determination and personal experience in life, helping us continuously move forward and discover new things on our journey.
If you like this video, please comment 1, and if you don't, comment 2. Your feedback means a lot to us. Thank you for your valuable time.
3. The encounter with the angel of fortune and the angel of misfortune. In life, happiness and misfortune are always intertwined. But have you ever wondered if it's possible to separate the two and hold on to pure joy? Let's delve into an intriguing story about a young man who fervently wished for the greatest happiness from the heavens. One night, his prayers were answered when the angel of fortune appeared at his door. However, his joy was short-lived due to an unexpected revelation. Would he be willing to face misfortune to grasp happiness? This story explores the deep connection between joy and sorrow and reveals how we can mentally prepare to face challenges in our pursuit of happiness. Once upon a time, there was a young man who constantly prayed for the greatest happiness. Day after day, he devoutly prayed, hoping for a divine blessing. Eventually, his sincerity moved the heavens. One night, he heard a knock at his door. When he opened it, he found a beautiful woman standing there. In a voice as sweet as a songbird's, she said, "I am the goddess of happiness, the angel of fortune." The young man was overjoyed and eagerly invited her inside, but the angel of fortune smiled and said, "Wait a moment, I have a sister who is always with me." She then introduced her sister who was standing behind her. When the young man saw the sister, he was astonished. He thought to himself, "How can there be such an unattractive woman in the world?" He hesitantly asked the angel of fortune, "Is she really your sister?" The angel solemnly replied, "Yes, she is my sister, the angel of misfortune, the goddess of adversity." Hearing this, the young man pleaded, "Can you ask the angel of misfortune to wait outside? Can only you come in?" She answered, "That is impossible because my sister and I are inseparable." The young man was disheartened and unsure of what to do. At that moment, the angel of fortune said, "If you can't decide, we will both take our leave." While the young man was still hesitating, both angels disappeared. When happiness arrives, misfortune often follows. We shouldn't rush into happiness or shy away from challenges because happiness and misfortune always come together. Therefore, we should be mentally prepared to face both. Through the story of the young man who longed for happiness, we learn that joy and sorrow are inseparable. The appearance of the angel of fortune and the angel of misfortune teaches a profound lesson about the true nature of life and how we should approach it. In life, everyone desires happiness, peace, and success. However, like the young man in the story, many people wish to avoid adversity, hardship, and suffering. But life doesn't work that way. The presence of the angel of fortune and the angel of misfortune symbolizes the inseparable relationship between joy and sorrow, success and failure. This reflects a universal truth. There is no complete happiness without experiencing difficulties, and no success without encountering failure. The angel of fortune and the angel of misfortune are always together, reminding us that true happiness comes not just from good things, but also from overcoming hardships and learning from unfortunate experiences. It's during moments of adversity that we truly grow and appreciate the happy moments. If happiness existed without misfortune, we would never know the value of joy and wouldn't know how to face life's challenges. Another important message from the story is the mental preparedness to face difficulties. When the angels of fortune and misfortune appeared, the young man hesitated and didn't know how to accept both. This hesitation represents a lack of mental readiness. In life, we often encounter similar situations where joy and sorrow, success and failure come together. Hesitation and unwillingness to face reality can make us miss important opportunities. To achieve true happiness, we must accept and confront both the good and the bad. This not only makes us stronger, but also helps us appreciate the joys and successes we achieve. Happiness is not a permanent state, but a journey with ups and downs. We need to learn to adapt, accept, and overcome. Accepting that happiness and misfortune are always together helps us gain a correct perspective on life. When facing difficulties, instead of being afraid and retreating, we should see them as opportunities to learn and grow. Every challenge overcome brings us joy and satisfaction. And every success achieved after difficulties makes us appreciate what we have even more. Life is a colorful journey with both joy and sorrow, success and failure. Embracing the presence of both the angel of fortune and the angel of misfortune helps us live more fully and happily. Always be mentally prepared to face any difficulties, and you will find true happiness in your journey. 4. Finding happiness in simplicity. Have you ever wondered what would happen if your childhood dreams didn't come true? Life doesn't always go according to plan, but does that mean we can't find happiness? Let's listen to the story of a boy with big dreams and his journey from shattered dreams to discovering happiness in the present. This story will help you recognize the value of gratitude and acceptance of life as it is, and how adaptability can open up new, meaningful dreams. Surely this story will make you reflect and find joy in your own life. There was a young boy who lived in a big house at the foot of a mountain. He loved climbing trees, swimming, playing soccer, and admired beautiful girls. He had a happy life. One day, the boy spoke to God. "I've thought for a long time, and I know what I want to be when I grow up." "What will you do?" God asked. "I want to live in a big house with a porch, with 2 statues of Saint Bernard in front and a garden in the back. I want to marry a tall, beautiful girl with a gentle personality, long black hair, blue eyes, who can play the guitar and has a voice as clear as a bird's song. We will have 3 strong sons and will play soccer together. When they grow up, one will be a scientist, one will be a senator, and the youngest will play quarterback in the NFL. I want to be a maritime explorer, climb mountains, help people, and own a red Ferrari, but never have to drive anyone else." "That's a beautiful dream," God said. "I hope your dream comes true." Later in life, he injured his knee playing soccer, which meant he couldn't climb mountains or trees anymore, let alone sail the seas. So, he studied business management and went into the medical equipment business. He married a beautiful woman with long black hair, but she wasn't tall, and her eyes weren't blue but brown. She couldn't play the guitar or sing, but she cooked delicious meals and painted like an artist. Through hard work, he lived in a high-rise building in the city center, with a view of the ocean and sparkling lights. There were no Saint Bernard statues in front of his home. He had 3 lovely daughters, with the youngest one being the most adorable in her stroller. All 3 daughters adored their parents. Although they couldn't play soccer with him, they went to the park together, and his daughter would sit under a tree, play the guitar, and sing sweetly. He had a happy, fulfilled life, but he never got his red Ferrari. One morning, he woke up and remembered his childhood dreams. "I'm so sad," he told those around him, sad that his dreams hadn't come true, to the point that he ended up in the hospital due to a weakened state. In the darkness, he lay thinking for a long time, finally deciding to have new dreams based on what he already had. He recovered, went home, and enjoyed his life, listening to the sweet voices of his children and gazing into his wife's brown eyes. At night, he would look at the ocean, letting go of his old dreams. The story of the boy with big dreams and his journey to adulthood contains many valuable life lessons. In a world full of constant change and unpredictability, the ability to accept reality and be grateful for what we have is key to finding happiness. We often get caught up in childhood dreams and expectations, wanting everything to go according to plan. However, life doesn't always follow our plans. Imperfection and uncertainty are natural parts of life, and our response to these determine the quality of our lives. The main character, from a boy with specific and detailed dreams, had to face many changes and failures. A knee injury prevented him from pursuing his passion for mountain climbing and maritime exploration. Yet instead of drowning in disappointment and regret, he chose another path, studying business management and becoming a successful entrepreneur. This change shows that sometimes life opens up new paths that we never imagined, and success doesn't necessarily mean fulfilling original dreams, but finding joy and fulfillment in what we do. One of the most important messages of the story is the value of acceptance and gratitude for the present. When he realized that his childhood dreams couldn't come true, he didn't let himself be stuck in disappointment. Instead, he reassessed his life, saw the wonderful things he already had: a happy family, 3 lovely daughters, and a talented wife. Through gratitude and acceptance of the present, he found happiness and contentment. This is an important lesson for all of us. Rather than always dreaming of what we haven't achieved, let's appreciate and be thankful for what we have. The second message from the story is the ability to adapt and create new dreams. Life is always changing, and we need to be flexible to adapt to those changes. The main character didn't give up after his initial dreams were shattered. Instead, he decided to create new dreams based on his current reality. This requires courage and wisdom. He realized that happiness doesn't come from achieving everything we want, but from appreciating and enjoying what we have. This adaptability not only helped him find joy in life, but also build a better future for himself and his family. Life is a journey full of surprises and challenges. Sometimes our dreams can't come true, but that doesn't mean we can't find happiness. By accepting the present and being grateful for what we have, we can find joy and contentment in the simple things around us. At the same time, the ability to adapt and create new dreams helps us keep moving forward, opening up new opportunities and finding the true meaning of life. Let's cherish the present and live a life full of gratitude, because true happiness comes from appreciating what we have. If you find these stories inspiring and they motivate you to take action, please comment 9. If not, comment 0. Your feedback means a lot to us. Thank you for your valuable time. 5. A lesson on true peace and happiness. Have you ever wondered what truly matters in life? Is it the luxury and wealth of grand parties and magnificent homes, or the peace and security of a simple life filled with joy? In Aesop's fables, there's a meaningful story about 2 friends, a city mouse and a country mouse, who discover the real value of happiness and contentment together. Let's listen to this story to see whether outer glamour can ever match inner peace. The city mouse and the country mouse were best friends. One day, the country mouse wrote a letter to the city mouse saying, "Dear city mouse, if you have some free time, come visit me in the countryside. You can enjoy the beautiful scenery and fresh air here, a life of leisure and relaxation. What do you think?" The city mouse was delighted when he received the letter and immediately set out for the countryside. The country mouse was overjoyed to see his good friend and prepared a hearty meal for him. Worried that there might not be enough food for both, the country mouse nibbled only on some grains, while the city mouse enjoyed a handful of green beans, a piece of cheese, and a ripe red apple. After finishing his meal, the city mouse said to his friend, "How can you live in such a place? All you see are trees, rivers, fields, and mountains. Life is boring with nothing but the sounds of birds. Come to the city with me. You can live in beautiful homes and have delicious meals every day. Just 1 week in the city and you'll forget this countryside life." So, the 2 mice went to the city together. The country mouse admired the city's grandeur and clean houses. He thought of his own life in the countryside, running through fields from dawn to dusk, eating only wheat and grains, searching for food in the cold snow during winter and sweating in the summer heat. Compared to the city mouse, he felt unfortunate. By the time they reached the city mouse's home, it was already dark. "You must be hungry. We've had a long journey," said the city mouse. "We'll have dinner right away." They went to the dining room, where the city mouse found plenty of fruit and cakes. "Help yourself," said the city mouse happily. "There's enough for both of us, a splendid dinner." "You're really wealthy," said the country mouse. But then a dog entered the room. Both mice jumped off the table and hid in a hole in the floor. The poor country mouse was terribly frightened. "Don't be scared," the city mouse reassured his friend. "The dog can't get in here." After a while, they returned to the kitchen and found a piece of apple pie on a shelf, which they ate happily. But then they saw a pair of bright eyes watching them. "Cat! Cat!" screamed the city mouse, and they both dashed into a hole in the wall. The country mouse, now too scared to eat, put on his hat and said to the city mouse, "The countryside is better for me. Here, even with beautiful homes and delicious food, it's too stressful. I'd rather go back to the country, eat grains, and live happily. In the country, birds sing while I eat apples and corn. Here, cats guard while you eat cake. I prefer to eat corn in peace than cake in fear." Living in luxury but in constant fear is not as good as the leisurely days of a humble life. Everyone has a different understanding of life. What matters is how you view it. Don't envy others. If you enjoy your life, you can find contentment in your own way. The story of the city mouse and the country mouse in Aesop's fables is not just a simple lesson about the differences between urban and rural life, but also reveals deeper insights into the value of life and happiness. Firstly, one of the most important messages this story conveys is the value of peace and safety. After experiencing the luxurious yet dangerous city life, the country mouse realizes that the peace and safety of rural life, though simple, bring true joy and comfort. This difference highlights the choice between living in luxury with constant fear and living simply with inner peace. In modern life, many of us are often caught in the pursuit of wealth and fame, endlessly chasing material goals and forgetting that inner peace is the foundation of true happiness. The story also emphasizes that sometimes seemingly small values can bring great joy. The country mouse, although it doesn't have grand feasts or magnificent homes like the city mouse, enjoys peace in its daily life. In the countryside, it doesn't worry about threats from predators like cats or dogs, and can enjoy life in a relaxed and natural way. This makes us reflect on the true values we might have forgotten in modern life, where everything seems to be measured by material and fame. Another significant message the story conveys is the importance of contentment with one's current life. Everyone has different perspectives and evaluations of life. Initially, the country mouse admired the city mouse's life, but after experiencing it, it realized that everyone has a lifestyle that suits them. This reflects an important philosophy. Instead of constantly comparing and envying others' lives, we should know how to be content and enjoy what we have. Happiness doesn't come from having more, but from being satisfied and content with what we have. The story of the city mouse and the country mouse also encourages us to reflect on our own choices in life. Are we chasing superficial values, neglecting simple but true joys, or do we appreciate and live happily with what we have? Life is a long journey, and sometimes what truly matters is right within our reach, yet we fail to recognize it. This fable reminds us that happiness and contentment do not always come from luxury and wealth. Inner peace and satisfaction with the present life are the keys to unlocking happiness. Appreciate the true values of life and enjoy the simple joys it brings. This is the valuable lesson that the story of the city mouse and the country mouse seeks to convey to each of us. 6. Gratitude and justice. In life, we often face situations that demand gratitude and justice. But do we always act appropriately and fairly in every circumstance? Let's listen to the story of the deer and the wolf in the forest, a simple tale that holds profound lessons about gratitude and justice. You will see that sometimes kindness may not always be reciprocated as expected, and wisdom combined with fairness can yield surprising outcomes. How would you behave when faced with such difficult choices? Let's find out. One day, a deer was walking through the forest when it suddenly heard cries for help. The deer ran towards the sound and found a wolf trapped under a fallen tree. The deer asked, "Are you okay, wolf?" "Don't ask. Just use your antlers to lift the tree off me so I can get out," replied the wolf. "I don't know if I can lift it," said the deer. Nevertheless, it tried its best to lift the tree with its antlers, and after much effort, the deer managed to free the wolf. The first thing the wolf did was check if any bones were broken. Then, joyfully, it turned to the deer and said, "Dear, now I want to eat you." "What?" the deer exclaimed in fear. "How can you be so shameless? I saved your life and now you want to eat me." "Yes, you saved me, and I am grateful. But now I am hungry and I need to eat you," the wolf insisted. They argued for a long time and finally decided to ask the bear to mediate. They told the bear their story in detail. The bear thought for a moment and then said to the deer, "You saved the wolf and it wants to eat you, that's wrong. But if we consider it from another perspective, the wolf has a point. It is hungry and needs to eat. Here's what we'll do. Take me to the spot where you saved the wolf so I can see how it happened, and then I'll decide." Both the deer and the wolf agreed, and they went back to the fallen tree. The deer used all its strength to lift the tree and trap the wolf under it again. The bear then said, "Now, deer, use your antlers to lift the tree off and save the wolf." The deer replied, "I've lifted this tree twice today, and I'm too tired now." The bear said, "If you don't have the strength to lift it, then don't. But how can I resolve this if you can't demonstrate? Deer, don't be angry. I'm not refusing to help you, but there's nothing I can do." With that, the bear walked away. "There's really nothing more to be done," the deer said, and also walked away. As a result, the wolf remained trapped under the tree and eventually died. The story of the deer and the wolf in the forest is more than just a simple fable. It's a profound lesson about gratitude, justice, and how we treat each other in life. Through this story, we can draw important insights about behavior and ethics. The story emphasizes the importance of gratitude. The deer bravely and selflessly saved the wolf from being crushed by the tree. However, in return, the wolf was ungrateful and even wanted to eat the deer after being saved. The wolf's actions were not only a betrayal of the one who saved it, but also a disrespect to itself. Gratitude is not just a beautiful quality, but a fundamental part of human relationships. When we express and show gratitude, we build better relationships and make life more meaningful. The wolf's ingratitude led to its tragic end. When it was trapped under the tree again, there was no one to help, and it ultimately died. This serves as a reminder that ungrateful and selfish actions not only harm others but can also backfire. Life is a series of actions and reactions, and how we treat others often dictates how they will treat us. Gratitude and respect are crucial for maintaining healthy and lasting relationships. Secondly, the story highlights the importance of fairness and wisdom in resolving disputes. The bear, acting as the mediator, used wisdom and caution before making a decision. The bear did not rush to judgment but asked the deer and the wolf to reenact the situation for a clear and fair assessment. This shows that when faced with difficult situations, we need to remain calm, carefully consider all aspects, and make decisions based on truth and logic. The bear's actions also carry a deeper meaning about fairness in society. Resolving conflicts should be done impartially and without personal bias, looking at the issues objectively and justly. This helps maintain fairness and peace within the community. Justice is not just about following rules and laws, but also about understanding and respecting each other. Lastly, The story reminds us of the value of honesty and ethics. The deer acted with a pure and kind heart, without expecting anything in return. This is a valuable quality that everyone should learn and practice. In life, we may encounter ungrateful or ill-behaved individuals, but that shouldn't stop us from being kind and ethical. Upholding our moral values and doing the right thing not only makes us better individuals, but also contributes to a better society.
If you like this video, please comment 1. And if you don't, comment 2. Your feedback means a lot to us. Thank you for your valuable time.
7. The true value of a person. Have you ever wondered how a beggar with one hand could become the president of a large company? There are inspiring and moving stories about human effort and self-respect that make us reflect on our self-worth and the power of encouragement. Let's listen to the story of a poor beggar who, through the kindness and encouragement of others, transformed his life in a remarkable way. This story will reveal the secrets behind his miraculous change and show us that, sometimes, with just a little faith and encouragement, people can overcome any obstacle to achieve success. There was a beggar who had lost his right arm, appearing very pitiful. Everyone who saw him gave him alms. One day, he came to a farmer's house asking for food. The woman of the house told him to first move a pile of bricks from the gate into the yard. The beggar angrily said to the woman, "You clearly know that I only have one hand, yet you ask me to move bricks. Are you mocking the disabled?" Unexpectedly, the woman sat down and deliberately used one hand to move the bricks. After finishing, she turned to the beggar and said, "I can move them with one hand, so why can't you?" The beggar had nothing to say, so he reluctantly began to move the bricks slowly with one hand. It took him 2 hours to finish the task, leaving him exhausted and drenched in sweat. The woman handed him a white towel, which he used to wipe his face and neck, turning it black with grime. She then gave him 50,000 dong. The beggar accepted the money and thanked her profusely. The woman said, "You don't need to thank me. This is the wage you earned with your sweat." The beggar said, "I will never forget your kindness. Please let me keep this towel as a memento." Years later, the beggar returned, dressed in fine clothes, to visit the farmer's family. Seeing the woman, now aged, he emotionally said, "I used to be a beggar, but now I am the president of a company. It is thanks to you that I found the self-respect I had lost and started a new life. Without you, I might still be wandering the streets." The woman replied, "That was your own doing." The company president wanted to give the woman a house, but she gently refused. He couldn't understand why. The woman smiled and said, "Because everyone in my family has only one hand. To maintain human dignity, we must respect ourselves, the people we know, and even those we don't. When we find joy in our work, life becomes valuable. Doing what we want may not always earn much, but it is far more precious and respectable than many who are rich but have lost their soul. Don't consider your own misfortunes too great. Life has many more unfortunate people. When we see our misfortunes as small, we can easily overcome them, live happily, and positively create our own lives. The most valuable part of a person is their heart and mind. Awakening the seeds of kindness in the heart will spark creativity in the mind. Then miracles in life will appear. Physical defects like the beggar's missing hand are just minor obstacles. A change in mindset turned the beggar into a company president. Firstly, this story emphasizes that human dignity and self-respect do not depend on physical condition or circumstances. The beggar initially did not believe he could do anything meaningful with just one hand. However, the woman changed his mind by asking him to move bricks, a task that seemed impossible for someone with one hand. In this way, she helped him realize that despite any difficulties, he could work and earn a living with his abilities. This encouragement helped him regain the dignity and self-respect he thought he had lost forever. Dignity and self-respect are not things we can only have in favorable circumstances. On the contrary, they are often affirmed and strengthened in difficult situations. When the beggar saw the woman, an ordinary person, move bricks with one hand, he realized he could do the same. This sparked a new sense of confidence and self-respect in him, something he had lost long ago. This change in perception helped him overcome difficulties and eventually become the president of a company. Secondly, this story highlights the importance of kindness and encouragement in transforming a person's life. If the woman had simply given the beggar money, he might have thanked her and continued his wandering life. However, she did not do that. Instead, she gave him the opportunity to work for his money, helping him understand the value of work and independence. This awakened in him the confidence and determination to overcome difficulties. The woman's kindness and encouragement did not just help the beggar earn money, they also helped him realize his own value. When he received the white towel and 50,000 dong, it was not just a reward for his effort but a symbol of the respect and faith the woman had in him. This awakened the seeds of kindness in his heart and sparked creativity in his mind, helping him overcome difficulties and achieve great success. This story also serves as a reminder that when we give others encouragement and opportunities, we can help them transform their lives and achieve great accomplishments. Sometimes, with just a little faith and encouragement, people can overcome any obstacle to achieve success. This applies not only to the beggar in the story, but to all of us. We all have the ability to change and develop ourselves, no matter our current circumstances. In conclusion, the story of the beggar who became a company president is a vivid testament to the power of self-respect and encouragement. It reminds us that no matter what difficulties we face, we can regain our dignity and self-respect. At the same time, it emphasizes that when we give others encouragement and opportunities, we can help them transform their lives and achieve great accomplishments. These are valuable lessons that we can apply in our daily lives. 8. The Roses in the Garden and a Lesson on Selflessness. On a beautiful afternoon, a little girl was taking a walk with her father in a rose garden when they happened to meet an elderly blind woman. Have you ever wondered what those vibrant flowers truly mean, not just to those who grow them, but also to those who appreciate them? The following story reveals profound lessons about selflessness and how we cherish life's beauty through an inspiring and unexpected perspective. Let's listen and discover the hidden meaning behind these fragrant rose petals. A little girl was taken by her father to stroll through a rose garden. She took a deep breath and said, "Daddy, do you smell that? These roses are so fragrant." Before her father could respond, they heard an elderly woman standing by the pathway say, "If you both like them, feel free to pick a few." Father and daughter chose the most beautiful roses, then thanked the elderly woman and praised her for the lovely flowers she had grown. The elderly woman replied, "The purpose of planting these flowers is for others to enjoy because I cannot see them myself. I am blind." The story of the little girl, her father, and the blind elderly woman in the rose garden carries meaningful messages about life and humanity. Through this story, we witness the beauty of selflessness and the importance of sharing joy with others. The elderly woman grew flowers not for her own benefit but to create joy for everyone. Her actions symbolized dedication and unconditional love. Even though she couldn't admire the flowers herself, she recognized their value and beauty through the reactions and happiness of those who came to enjoy them. This reminds us of the significance of living for others. Every kind act, every gesture of sharing can have a significant impact, bringing joy and happiness not only to the recipient but also to the giver. In our busy and pressure-filled lives, we sometimes forget to care for and share with those around us. This story is a reminder of the value of kindness and compassion. Moreover, the story encourages us to appreciate the simple things in life. The little girl perceived the scent and beauty of the roses, and both her father and the elderly woman acknowledged the value of the flowers. Although the elderly woman couldn't see them, she still felt the beauty and meaning of the roses through the joy of others. This shows that the beauty and value of life are not only in what we see, but also in what we feel with our hearts and souls. In summary, the story of the Rose Garden is not just about a walk, but a profound lesson on selflessness and how we cherish the beauty of life. Let these messages inspire us to live kindly, share generously, and always appreciate the simple yet precious things in our daily lives. 9. A cautionary tale on judging others. Have you ever wondered if your judgments about others are influenced by your biases and subjective thoughts? The story of a man who lost his axe and his mistaken suspicions about his neighbor's son will make you reflect. What happened when he discovered the truth about his axe? Let's delve into the story to understand the power of prejudice and the importance of verifying information before judging others. Once, there was a man who lost his axe. He immediately suspected the neighbor's son of stealing it. He watched the young man closely and thought he saw a thief in every move. He observed the boy walking down the street and thought, he walks so silently. He must be a skilled thief. One day, he overheard the young man talking to someone and thought, he speaks in a high-pitched voice, as if he's afraid of being overheard. How cunning! He was convinced that everything about the boy, from his walk to his voice, resembled a thief. Later, the man found his lost axe. It turned out he had dropped it in a crevice while chopping wood on the mountain. The next day, he saw the neighbor's son again and noticed that his walk was normal and his voice sounded just like anyone else's. Nothing about him seemed like a thief anymore. This story is not just a simple parable. It offers profound lessons about human psychology and social behavior. As we reflect on this tale, two crucial messages stand out, forming a solid foundation for understanding how we perceive the world around us: the influence of bias and subjective thoughts. Firstly, the story highlights the powerful impact of bias and subjective thoughts. When the man lost his axe, he immediately suspected the neighbor's son. His prejudice distorted every action and word of the young man. From his walk to his gestures and voice, everything was perceived through the lens of a thief. This bias not only clouded the man's judgment but also obscured the truth. This clearly demonstrates that when our minds are influenced by subjective thoughts, everything around us becomes distorted and detached from reality. The influence of bias is a common issue in modern society, affecting not just personal relationships but also social and professional aspects. Bias can stem from various sources, including personal experiences, culture, and inaccurate information. Once biased, we tend to seek and accept information that aligns with our preconceived notions while disregarding or rejecting contrary information. This phenomenon is known as confirmation bias, and it can lead to erroneous and unfair judgments. This story serves as a powerful reminder of the importance of maintaining an open and objective mind when evaluating others. The importance of truth and verifying information. The second message the story conveys is the importance of truth and verifying information before drawing any conclusions. After the man found his axe, he realized that all his suspicions and judgments about the young man were baseless. This underscores the critical need to verify information before making judgments or taking action. The truth can be vastly different from our imagination if we rely solely on personal perceptions and assumptions without concrete evidence. In today's world, with the explosion of information and social media, verifying information has become more crucial than ever. Fake news and misinformation can spread rapidly and have severe consequences. Therefore, developing critical thinking and information verification skills is essential to ensure we are not deceived and make informed decisions. The story of the man and his axe is a valuable reminder of two important aspects of life: the influence of bias and subjective thoughts, and the importance of truth and verifying information. It encourages us to reflect on how we perceive and judge others while reminding us to keep an open and objective mind. Always remember that biases can distort the truth and that verifying information is essential to ensure our judgments and decisions are based on facts. Only then can we build a fairer, more transparent, and harmonious life. If you find these stories inspiring and they motivate you to take action, please comment 9. If not, comment 0. Your feedback means a lot to us. Thank you for your valuable time.